Frisco, Texas is booming with incredible growth, from top-tier schools and luxury neighborhoods to major attractions like the PGA headquarters and the Star. But figuring out where you fit into this fast-paced city isn't as simple as picking a spot on the map. Whether it's balancing your budget, cutting down on your commute, or finding a perfect community vibe, there's a lot to consider. Hi, I'm Tiffany, and after years of helping families navigate Frisco's market, I've learned exactly what matters most. And today, I'm breaking it all down for you.
I'm going to show you guys a whole map tour of Frisco on my computer, and I'm also going to go on location to a couple of the houses to kind of show you what they look like and the road that they sit on. And I'm also going to show you all the different price points to some of these really great subdivisions. Stay to the end because I'm going to show you one of the most expensive houses listed in Frisco right now at $7.5 million. You're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be at the end. So I'll pop back and forth between my office and being on location. But I wanted to kind of show you guys, this is Frisco with the red outline. And you can see that, let me get my little tool out to draw. You can see the lake is here, okay? And so Frisco, which is, here, sits really close to the lake. And I'm going to point out, first of all, I want to go over highways because there are a lot of highways and I want you guys to kind of know where you are in reference to everything else. And so this up here is 380 and we get a lot of complaints right now about 380, and I'm going to erase that because I want to zoom out. If you look at 380, zooming out, notice how it goes all the way across the map. Even as we get further and further out, 380 goes all the way across Texas, okay? So it is a very long street, and we are having to do infrastructure changes because all of North Dallas is growing by leaps and bounds. So we're just trying to keep up. But I will say that from right here all the way over to about right here is a nightmare when it comes to 380 traffic because they're widening that road. And so you could literally sit at a traffic light for like 3 times in a row, all because of how backed up it is. And it's obviously only in rush hour, the mornings and the afternoons, but you need to be aware that right now there's a lot of traffic. So for example, I helped a couple buy right here in this subdivision, and I went to pick up the key. They were from New Jersey. They hadn't come into town yet. We closed. So I went to pick up the key at the house for them to hold on to it until they got here. And there was a senior woman, probably in her late 70s, early 80s, walking her dog. And I was walking up to the house and she said, "Are you the realtor?" And I said, "I am the realtor for the buyer, yes." And she said, "Did you tell them about the traffic on 380? And I said, "Yes, I did." And she said, "Well, my realtor didn't, and I'm never using her again." So I'm giving you fair warning that yes, there is some traffic and it bothers a lot of people. But I will say you can get some pretty great deals up here because of it. And then if you let it work itself out, you could have some great equity, but it is a beating, and I'm not going to lie about it. So just know that 380 is a little harsh right now. Okay, so let's look at the Dallas North Tollway. This is it, and it goes all the way down, and then it goes all the way to Dallas. So zooming out, you have the Dallas North Tollway right here. See, it ends right here, but they are building the Dallas North Tollway all the way up. It's just not there yet. And so it goes all the way down, all the way to Dallas. Okay. So in rush hour traffic, you're looking from Frisco to Dallas, you're looking at 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how bad traffic is. If it is not rush hour and I leave Frisco by 4:30, before 4:30 in the afternoon, I can make it to Dallas in 30 minutes. That's the normal time without rush hour. So just know that. We also have 121 that goes across, and it takes you all the way to the airport, which is this. This is the airport right here, Dallas-Fort Worth. And so to get from Frisco to the airport, you're looking at probably, depending on where you are in Frisco, 20 to 30 minutes. I live way up here, and so I live in North Frisco, so it takes me probably 30 minutes to get to the Dallas-Fort Worth airport. Also, most of our highways have more than one name, which also gets very confusing. So this 121 is also called Sam Rayburn. So you might hear people talking about the Sam Rayburn. Really, the Dallas North Tollway, nobody calls it anything but the Dallas North Tollway. So you can kind of bet on the fact that that one's not going to be confusing. There's also 75. And 75 will go all the way up to Oklahoma and all the way to Dallas. And then you can cut over on 121 to get to Frisco, or you can cut over on 380. This part of 380 is not bad. It's this part of 380 that's bad, because that's what's being widened right now. So 75 is my least favorite highway. And I know, and I get comments all the time on my videos when I talk about 75, that people say that they do not agree with me, and that is fine. But I believe 75 is a parking lot. It is a free highway. The tollway, yes, costs money. And in rush hour, it does get trafficy. But for the most part, I can get to Dallas really fast on the tollway outside of traffic, outside of rush hour. But 75, it's busy all the time. There's traffic all the time, and it's because it's free and more people will use it. So it's just my opinion. I just had a comment the other day that somebody said, I don't agree with you, and that's totally fine. Every opinion counts on this channel. So you now know mine about 75. Okay, I want to kind of show you guys some things around actual Frisco. So let's start with just sectioning Frisco off. You're going to hear people talk about West Frisco and East Frisco. And what makes that happen is the Dallas North Tollway is usually the indicator of West and East Frisco. So you've got West Frisco and you've got East Frisco. Now, I will say that the tollway really kind of shows where the county borders are as well. Now, it's not exact, so it's not going to line up perfectly with the Dallas North Tollway, but this side of Frisco is Collin. I don't know how good my writing skills are with this little pen, and then over here is Denton, okay? And so we do have, two counties in Frisco, okay? So taxation is a little bit different. But on a whole, Frisco in general is 1.6% property taxes, which is the lowest in the entire Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex. So yes, we have a little bit higher price point, but we just dropped the property tax rate. And so pay attention to that. When you buy in other counties and other cities, ask about the tax rate because it matters. You may have a $500,000 house, but you've got a 2% tax rate, versus a $600,000 house in Frisco, and it's 1.6. So they may offset each other a little bit. So ask me about that. Okay, let me show you a couple of the attractions that I think are fun in Frisco. First of all, we're gonna zoom in a little. Okay, this is downtown, okay? Now, Frisco's downtown is definitely lacking when it comes to being compared to McKinney or even Salina. And so they're actually putting about $50 million into the downtown area right now. So there is some construction, but the Toyota Stadium is our soccer stadium. So we have the soccer games there. We also have the soccer museum and the Soccer Hall of Fame there. It's a lot of fun to take your kiddos up there. We also have this whole area during Christmas lights up, and it has over 2 million lights that dance to music. It's a lot of lights. I need to get the exact number, but you can turn the radio on and it dances. So it's a lot of fun during Christmas, but you can always walk and eat and shop. And then we also have the National Video Game Museum down here. We have the only video game museum. And it's kind of cool because you can literally go in and it will take you from when video games were created all the way up until now. And they have a lot of video games, even really old ones that you can actually play. They give you tokens. They give you a certain amount of tokens with your ticket when you get in. But to take your kids up there and really show them where video games came from and what they look like now is vastly different. So that's a lot of fun that you can take your kiddos on. Something else I wanted to point out is Preston as a street. It's right here. And I'm going to zoom out so you guys can see, and I probably need to take that off so that it doesn't, Preston, which it got smaller. It's this little line here, actually goes all the way to Dallas. And so if you get lost, just know that if you look for Preston and you know that you need to go to Frisco and you're in Dallas, then you can literally drive all the way up Preston. You wouldn't want to do that. I'm only telling you that if you get lost, but just know that Preston goes all the way up and down the entire metroplex. And it's just a really nice way to know where you are. And it's always gonna have restaurants and places to shop and little eateries and all the things that you would want are going to be on Preston. And they are expanding Preston. It goes all the way up into Prosper and Salina and all the things. Okay, let's talk about Grand Park. I have brought it up in other videos. It's going to be, they're breaking ground on it this year and it's going to be huge. It's actually bigger than Central Park in New York, and it's going to have walking trails, jogging trails. It's gonna have an outdoor amphitheater for concerts. It's gonna have water features and ponds and lakes and all the things. It's gonna be wonderful. So we're really excited about that. But you can just see, we have a ton of parks and sporting parks all over. And it's just, there's a lot of outdoor space. This over here is an entire Del Webb community. It's a 55+ community, meaning that someone in the household has to be above the age of 55 for you to buy in Frisco Lakes, and no one under the age of 18 can live there, not full time. So if you are looking for a retirement community, my parents live in Frisco Lakes, and it's wonderful because it's on a golf course and it's by the lake. So there are actual homes on the lake. Okay, we're gonna go a little bit to North Frisco and talk about all the things that I talk about on Frisco videos. So when we talk about Fields and Fields West, so this is Panther Creek Parkway. Notice that there is no street right here. So let me show you. Let me take that line off. See how there's no street? The street stops right here and then it starts right here because this street has not been built yet. They are developing this whole area, and this is where I live. So Panther Creek Parkway will eventually do this when it's finished. The Universal Studios that I talk about is right here, okay?
Okay, I wanted to come out and physically show you guys where Universal is being built. Now look, this is Panther Creek Parkway, and it doesn't even go through yet. So down there is the Fields, the one that I highlight all the time. It's where I live. And they haven't even finished the road yet. But look at this. I mean, who would have known that it was going to be this big? When you're looking at land, it never looks as big as it turns out to be. So they are really making some progress.
And then the Fields West, that huge billion-dollar development that I keep bragging about in all of my videos, and that's going to absolutely affect equity in all the houses around it, right here, okay, right off the tollway. The PGA is right here. This is the whole golf course right here, okay? And so the Brookside South, Brookside North, and the Preserve, all the houses, and that's where I live, all of the new builds, and the walkable, you're gonna be able to walk to Fields West. We are going to take golf carts because all of us in this neighborhood are all excited about jumping on our golf carts and just driving over. They have built trails to where you don't have to go over any major street. You go under it. There's bridges and you can drive your little golf cart under the bridge. Supposedly they're gonna have golf cart parking at Fields West, but all of this is housing, and that is the Fields. The Fields go this way as well, okay? It's just Fields. I was corrected the other day because I always say the Fields. It's just Fields. There's no the. So just remember that if anybody tells you that it's there's no the. That's what the developers told me. So anyway, they're trying to monitor my marketing. It's exciting though. I tell people, and I don't have a crystal ball, but I tell people if you spend, just on average, it's round numbers I'm using. If you spend $1 million on a house in the fields, oh, see, I did it again, in fields, in Brookside. I believe in 3 to 5 years, you're going to be at 1.6, 1.7 easy. Because after Fields West, this whole thing right here is built, all of these houses, the walkable houses to Fields West, their value is going to skyrocket. I built my house, I signed my contract over a year ago, and I already have really great equity from what I bought until what my exact house just sold for is vastly different than what I paid. So just, and I tell you guys that in my other videos, getting into phase 1 in a community, you're going to build equity faster because you're going to get a better price than people that are getting in phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, and phase 5, which automatically means that your house is more valuable. Okay. So just remember that. Okay. Something else I want to point out is the Star, where the Dallas Cowboys practice stadium is and the headquarters. And that's right here. So Ford Stadium, this green thing, that is their actual practice stadium. And what's really cool about that is that Frisco High School, all the high schools in Frisco get to also use that field for certain games. They did a partnership. Jerry Jones did a partnership with Frisco and built that together so that Frisco has the right to use it. And it's just a lot of fun for kids to be able to play on the same practice field that the Dallas Cowboys have played on. But this whole area is a lot of fun, really great restaurants, really great shopping, a lot of walkability, and it's worth going if you're going to Frisco. Now, when Fields West gets here, this big guy up here, I believe that this will be where everyone goes to dine and it's a shop and take fun pictures and all the things versus the Star. This will be kind of the pinnacle of Frisco once it's there, which is why everyone's talking about the equity that all of those houses around it are going to get. Okay, now I'm going to kind of show you guys subdivisions and point out a few of my favorites. I'm also going to show you a few price points. And this is where I'm going to go a little bit on location and a little bit here and bounce back and forth so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. But I'm going to kind of try to go in chronological order. So we're going to switch over to the MLS. So we're going to start with under 300. You're not going to find a lot of under 300s in Frisco. And so this is a whole neighborhood of attached homes. They're kind of like condos, townhomes. You're going to have a monthly HOA, so you do need to pay attention to that. This particular house I'm showing you is $290,000. The HOA is $350,000. So I'm going to show you. So I'm going to go there right now.
Okay. So this is a townhome. All of these in this neighborhood are townhomes, you can see. And right now it's listed at $290,000. Could get lower than that. You never know. It is a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath, and a 2-car garage, which is important to have because we get a lot of hail here in Texas. But it's a little over 1,000 square feet. And that's probably the cheapest you're going to get into Frisco at this point in time. You do need to watch HOAs though, because when it comes to townhomes and condos, if that's monthly, like in here, it's $350 a month, but it includes all your amenities, it's going to count against you on your loan. So like, let's say they tell you that you are approved for $3,000 a month, that $350 lowers that $3,000 by $350,000. So then you're only qualified for what, $2,650? So pay attention to that, or let me know because I can help you with that with a lender. So, all right, let's move on.
All right, this one is close to the first neighborhood, and we're looking in the 300s, and I'm going to take you there now.
Okay, so this neighborhood is a little bit older. This house behind me was built in the 90s, 1992, but I wanted to kind of show you guys what you're getting for that high 300 range. So I've shown you some things in at least one in the 200s. You're not going to find a ton in the 200s in Frisco, and they're certainly not going to be single family homes. They're more going to be condos or townhomes. But this is a great example of a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 1,700 square feet. And so I wanted to show you a little bit of the subdivision because it is older. So if that's something you don't like, then just be aware. But this doesn't have an HOA. So this could do short-term rental, long-term rental. And anytime you're talking about a short-term rental, remember, check the city as well, because it's not just HOAs. Frisco voted to keep short-term rentals. And so that is an extra safety. I've got a short-term rental here in Frisco and it does really well. So let me know if that's something you're wanting to get into as well, because I can help you.
Okay, and the house I just showed you, this is Preston Ridge. And this is Preston. The road that I showed you guys goes all the way through the metroplex. And just so you can see it, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. But this is Preston Ridge compared to the Dallas North Tollway. So you're in East Frisco here. And remember, this is downtown, so you're not far from downtown. Okay, this happens to be in one of my favorite subdivisions, the Trails, and I'm going to go show it to you right now.
Okay, so now we're in the Trails, and it's actually one of my favorite neighborhoods in Frisco because it funnels into some really good schools, and Wakeland is one of those schools, and it's kind of really sought after because it is so established already. But the Trails is a huge master planned community, has multiple pools. I think it's got 4 pools, but it's got all different price points. And the one behind us is super cute, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, a little over 1,500 square feet. It's like 1,550, 2-car garage. But cute streets, very quiet, even though there's a little bit of a major street right here. You can barely hear anything. And then of course it's got tennis courts, pickleball, and all the things. Great community events, but the Trails is definitely one to look at. You might find dated homes here. You might get a better deal on, or be able to renovate the inside and make its value go up. So the ones that are newly renovated in the Trails go for much higher. So because they're really sought after as well. I wanted to show you this one. It's in the mid 400s.
Okay, from a map perspective, I'm going to show you guys where the Trails is. So the Trails is right here. It's in West Frisco. Okay, it's a huge subdivision. And then the high school is over here, the Wakeland High School. And then the Trails has a junior high and a elementary almost within. The elementary is actually inside the subdivision and the junior high is just across the street. All right, this home is in the mid 500s, and I'm going to go show it to you right now.
Okay, so now we're in Heritage Green, which is South Frisco, but it's Southwest Frisco. And I wanted to show you guys this house behind me because it's in the mid 500s, almost 2,800 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 3 full baths, and 1 half bath, 2-car garage. And I'll show you the street. Not bad.
All right, now I want to show you where that house is. Heritage Green is right here, okay? And so remember that the star is way down here. And so you're super close to the star. You're super close to the high-end Starwood. And it's a really great little nook where you can kind of get anywhere fast. Okay, Hazelwood is a brand new subdivision, and I'm going to show you where it is on the map. But these are townhomes. They're in the 600s and they're super cute. And the reason that they're townhomes and they're a little more expensive is because they're right by the PGA. So they're right by all the action. They're not in fields, but they're next to it. So their equity will rise as Fields West is developed. But they've got really cute, you can pick all your interiors out. It's a really great area, but it's called Hazelwood. It's not gonna have all the amenities that some of the others have, but it's all brand new construction. So we're up here in North Frisco, and it's gonna be right here, the Hazelwood. So you can get townhomes in the 600s. You can get full houses, like single family houses, in the 7, 8s, and 9s, depending on the lot size, depending on how big the house is and the upgrades that you put into it. But Hazelwood, remember, this is Fields West, okay? This is Fields. This is the PGA. So Hazelwood's right here. Put a little H there. And so you will definitely get equity. You're just not going to get the equity that these houses are going to get because they're literally walking distance to Fields West. So, but I wanted you to see how close Hazelwood is and that it's a viable option if you need a little bit of a lower price point, because a house in Hazelwood, well, let me say it the other way. If you get a 5-bedroom house in the Fields, you're looking at 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5 million. You can get that in the 900s, 800s in Hazelwood. So it's a big difference, but you're still getting Frisco ISD. You're still right by the PGA. So it does have some upside to it. Okay. Yes, this is in the Fields, and Olivia Clark built townhomes. All right. They're adorable. And she just put them on sale. So you used to not be able to get into the Fields below 700,000. And she's got a couple, there's only a few that she's trying to just sell off because she's building elsewhere as well. And these are down in the 650s, okay? But they're super cute, very well put together. Remember, we are close to our neighbor here in the Fields, but I tell people you give up a little bit of land, and space to gain that ultimate equity, okay? Because it's going to be a huge equity run. So just know that there are some pros and cons. It may not be your dream home. Getting into a townhome in the Fields, letting your equity naturally go up in the next 3 years, then take your equity and use it as the down payment on your dream home. That's called house hacking. It may not be your dream home, but buying it, living in it for 3 to 5 years, and then taking that equity that you freely earned. You did not have to go to work and save up your dollars from your job. It naturally occurred by you just living in a specific spot for 3 to 5 years. Use it to go buy your dream home. It just makes sense. Okay, this is Hunters Creek, and this is in East Frisco. I haven't highlighted a whole lot. I'm going to show you a couple in East Frisco. My favorite area of town is West Frisco, so I tend to lean towards that, but there's nothing wrong with East Frisco. But this is Hunters Creek. It's a really well-developed neighborhood, lots of mature trees. That's one thing that you don't get in new construction is you have to wait for those trees to grow up. Hunters Creek is older. It's from the early 2000s, so if you do not want a house that's 10, 15 years old, then Hunters Creek's probably not for you. But it's a great price point. This house I'm showing you right now is $650,000. And it's over 3,000 square feet. So would you want to update it a little bit? Probably. But the thing is you would, you're putting money into something that's growing in equity because all newly renovated houses are going to sell for more than houses that are not renovated. Okay, I'm back to the map. I want to show you Hunters Creek. So let me zoom in just a little tiny bit. And we're down here in the most southeast portion of Frisco. See the red boundary line? This is Hunters Creek. So it is an older neighborhood, but you can jump straight on the 121 and get anywhere you want to go. So you go straight up here to Main, shoot straight over, and you're in downtown, or you're at the Dallas North Tollway. You go straight this way and you're in McKinney. So it's all very close. It sits on the McKinney border. Okay, as an alternative, this is also in East Frisco. It's in a subdivision called The Grove, but this is in the 600s as well. It's 669, and I wanted to show you the difference. Now, Hunters Creek, that home was over 3,000 square feet. This one's only 1,800, so the size is significantly different. It's almost half the size of the other one. So, but look at it's almost a brand new build. All right, approximately the same price, but you're getting half the house, okay? But look at how pretty it is. And it's at the Grove, so let me show you where the Grove is. Looking at Frisco, okay, here's the Dallas North Tollway. This is East Frisco. We're gonna zoom in, and the Grove is right here. This is the huge Grove subdivision. They're doing a Grove up here, but it's a completely different builder, and they are not selling yet. There will be a whole new subdivision north of Main Street, but it is a builder that's brand new. And so we're not sure what the product looks like yet, but just know that those will be available at some point. Okay, this is Stewart Creek. This is in the 700s, and I just kind of wanted to show you what it looked like. Very well-established neighborhood. It's an older neighborhood. This was built in the early 2000s as well, but it's a little bit of a different look. And I'll show you where Stewart Creek is on the map. It's kind of in a very luxurious area of Frisco. So down here, this whole area is very wealthy, all right? And if you zoom in, you're going to see Stewart Creek right here. So Lebanon has just a lot of wealthy subdivisions coming off of it. It's got wealthy med spas and shops and eateries. And so this whole area is very bougie, all right? Beautiful, but it's going to cost a little more to live close to it. Okay, this is Pearson Farms. I really like Pearson Farms. It's right close to the trails. And so it's a great area. It's a smaller subdivision. But, and what's funny about this house is I kind of feel like some of the house disappeared, but it's the entry into the house. And you go around this and then the door's in here. You can see through this. But just visually looking at it, it looks like part of the house fell off. So just to kind of show you the inside, it's really pretty. It's got the hand scraped hardwoods. Then you get into the dining room, the living room, kitchen. So it gives you a little perspective. Let me show you where Pearson Farms is. So I showed you guys the trails, which is right here. Pearson Farms is down here. So Teal Parkway runs all the way up to Fields and Brookside and the Preserve and all of that. My favorite grocery store is right here. Oh, crap, right here, H-E-B. It's on Legacy. But you can see the proximity. Pearson Farms is not a huge subdivision. It's not necessarily going to have a lot of the ton of amenities, but it is a really great place to live. Okay, this is Phillips Creek Ranch, and it's a very sought after subdivision. It's beautiful. It's very high end. A lot of the houses are more modern, and so I think that has a draw to it. But it sits right on that stone brick. Well, I'll show you because you don't know you're not from here. I'm going to show you on the map, but I wanted to show you. This is right under $1 million. So we're in the high 900s. And it just kind of shows you what you're going to get. And you're also buying the subdivision, and it's got great amenities. It's got pools and a workout facility and walking trails, but it's just a lot newer. This was built in 2017, and you can see that it's just edgier and new and fresh and bright. So that's what you're going to be getting if you're in Phillips Creek Ranch, which is right here. So you're on Stonebrook. Stonebrook takes you all the way to the Dallas North Tollway, and you're right north of Lebanon, which is the road I was just telling you guys about. Okay, and last but not least, this is in the Hills of Kingswood. Let me show you where it is before I show you everything else. The Hills of Kingswood, I've talked about this subdivision before. It's unbelievable. Half of it are homes, and it's called the Hills of Kingswood because it sits up on a hill in Frisco, and you can literally see for miles. So some of these people have backyard views from miles across Frisco. I mean, literally way above it. So there's nothing that's ever going to be in your view but that. And so there's Dallas Cowboy players that live in there because it's gated and guarded. It's extremely hard to get in. They call, like when you drive up, they call to make sure that you're really supposed to be there. So it's right here. It's on the very southern portion of Frisco. In fact, it's right close to the Colony, which is this city down here. But you can get to the lake really fast. I will say that the Hills of Kingswood has power lines. So you need to know where to buy inside the Hills of Kingswood because it is really hard to resell a house that's super close to power lines, and they're not normal power lines. They're the gargantuan ones. And so get with me if you want to live in the hills. I call it the hills for short, away from power lines, or there's a whole section of the hills that literally have houses like this one. This one's 7.5 million. You might be able to get one in the 4 and the 5 millions, and they're still building. There are still lots that if you want to live in a gated, guarded community that is very private, and has amazing views and all the houses really look like this, then let me know because I can help you. I'm friends with a lot of the builders that are building inside the hills. Some of the builders inside the hills of Kingswood are also building in the preserve. And remember, the preserve is on the PGA golf course. They're all custom built. Literally, you get to pick out every single detail of your home. They start at 3.5 million and go all the way up to the most expensive in the preserve is 45 million. It's already sold, and everything in between, 100% custom. I know a lot of the builders, so let me know if that's something that you're wanting to do is build in the preserve. But look at how beautiful this is. I mean, obviously it's not finished out, but just the natural lighting is unreal. So some of these houses would just blow your mind once they're finished out. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it can feel like a lot to take in, especially with everything Frisco has to offer and all the things popping up in new development, but that's exactly why I'm here. So whether you're figuring out the best commute or exploring new neighborhoods, looking for new builds, looking for pre-existing, it doesn't matter. My goal is to help make it as seamless as possible for the process of moving within or to Frisco, Texas. So if you're ready to start your journey, if you have questions, reach out, text me, call me. I always get back to people really fast, and I would love to help you find your perfect home in Frisco.